It was the charismatic movement that first led me to think about the issue of religious experience and institutional identity in detail. Most of my religiously oriented friends were committed to a denomination. They included Free Methodists, United Methodists, Baptists, Presbyterians, Episcopalians, Lutherans, Mennonites, Nazarenes, Pentecostals, liberals, conservatives, fundamentalists, agnostics, and more. Then, out of the blue, they had a religious experience of a sort that had long been condemned and mocked and continued to be in their earlier religious habitats. Networks of these new believers crossed denominational lines. Some of these people remained but a short time in the new networks, and some soon denounced the charismatic networks or movements in which they had participated. Others remained for years, even decades, discreetly engaged in both their older denomination and in their new networks. Not a few, alienated from their older denomination and the charismatic networks, moved into other established denominations to establish new identities. Others renounced more vocally the older denominations and led the establishment of charismatic denominations and other institutions. As years became decades, many of the networks became more loose, less effective, or disappeared. Most of the institutions ceased to expand significantly, fragmented, or disappeared. This widespread and global pattern caused me to begin to think about the meaning of the phenomena observed. For this was not the first or last such restructuring of religious experience and institutional structure. This lecture focuses on issues of religious experience and institutional identity 1860 to 1930, specifically on the Holiness and Pentecostal movements, with attention to how these networks rapidly became forces for global developments. First, the in-between phenomena are named. Pentecostalism is still a useful name for aspects of the early 20th century, especially as it moves away from a U.S.-centric historiography. For earlier interrelated movements during the period, building on the work of Roger Robbins, William Caslevy, Wallace Thornton, Ian Randall, Doug Weaver, and numerous other scholars, I'm proposing the term radical holiness. The development of radical holiness networks around the world will be used to explain what happened between, say, Phoebe Palmer and Seth Cook Reese in the United States, and between the Methodist T.B. Barrett and the Pentecostal denomination builder T.B. Barrett in Norway, and the Baptist John Ongman in Chicago, and the Holiness Baptist John Ongman in Minneapolis, and a Holiness Pentecostal Baptist head of the denominational movement John Ongman in Örebro, Sweden, and between Alma During and Simon Kimbango in the Congo. What was the nature and extent of their religious experience defined networks? Defining these people and others in either their original or final networks is not sufficient. It is the in-between time that is crucial. This lecture will explore these issues. It is hoped that this will provoke a discussion that will lead to enhanced understanding of this formative period in global Christian religious experience.